Hey, I was talking about Haruki Murakami in the last couple of times, and the first 1Q84, and then Kafka on the Shore, and I have to talk about this one. This was Norwegian Wood. Okay, well, Norwegian Wood is the first fiction by Haruki Murakami I read, and I really enjoy this fiction. And this is one of the fiction that he didn't put any fantastical elements in there, more like a straightforward, serious topics also in there. And but anyway, first of all, the Norwegian Wood, definitely the title is Murakami was influenced by the John Lennon's Beatles song Norwegian Wood, right? Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so that particular thing is, in the Beatles term, the lyrics is a Norwegian wood is the like a Swedish furniture, Norwegian furniture, right? And it's made of the kind of a pines, the furniture that very popular worldwide. They make a beautiful furniture with the pine wood. I think it's pine, right? I'm not sure what that tree is. I don't know what that is, but it's a furniture. So Beatles song is it's about the furniture. But in this fiction, I think it's already interpreted as a wood, like a forest in Norway somewhere, like a deep forest, and you go in there walking, and it's surrounded with this nature or the big wood around it, and but particular mood that depicted in this one, and so it's about the suicide, right? Okay, so it's a serious fiction, I would say, and this is a fiction that I felt, yeah, Murakami, although his writing and his topics is very light and fun to read and everything, but it's still, he grew up in Japan, and he still felt that particular subject of suicide is very, very strong in his mind. And his short stories and so forth, if you read, there's a lot of suicide appears in his short story. I think I remember most recently, I don't remember the title, but I think one of his short stories, I think it's in New Yorker magazine. Yeah, I think so. And it's about the girl he met and described this. I think that another Japanese, that Beatles song title. I don't remember the title of the, but I think the Beatles. I think the Beatles or something. But it's about also suicide there. So I think he growing up in Japan, that particular topics of suicide is very strong for everybody, I think, because in the whole world, Japanese suicide rate is highest, and especially a couple of weeks ago, I heard that in Japan there's a 1 day period time or something, or 1 month, I don't remember, but it's a whole death rate by suicide is higher than coronavirus death rate in the whole entire 2020. And so this is something to do with, I think, the depicting this particular phenomena in Japan and the culture of Japan. Murakami's description of suicide is this one is very seriously involved with this human beings, friends, and all this, but all through, he's like a bystander to look at those phenomena, and he always look at it as a matter of factory, and I think ultimately it's very kind of optimistic. He kind of encouraged people to live and so forth. And it's a tremendous strong in here. And I just recently I read the two Japanese fiction. One is Kokoro by Soseki Natsume. Kokoro also deal with suicide, and I think Kokoro, one of the most famous modern novel in Japan, and by Soseki Natsume, and it's dealing with the suicide of the sensei, which is he admired this particular person who has a kind of a past that he didn't, this particular divulging what happened, and it's slowly going to this particular sensei's mind, and then finally those things coming out, and it's about he married this lady, and taking this lady from his closest friends, closest friend. Closest friend. I think this is like a spoiler, but it's okay. It's nothing to do with Soseki, right? Okay. It's about he had a guilty feeling because he took this particular lady and he married with this lady, regardless of knowing that his friends confessed him a couple days before that he proposed to this lady. A couple of days before, he confessed to him that he is in love with this lady, and so after he married, or he confessed, or he proposed to this lady, and the lady accepted that particular proposal, the friends commit suicide, right? Okay, so he has this tremendous guilty feeling about this friend, and he carried those guilty feeling all the way up to own suicide later. Okay, so that's very, very heartfelt and serious subject, but the book is very, very well written, very, very readable. I tremendously recommend that you can read the Kokoro by Soseki Natsume, and you get one aspect of these topics. And the other fiction that I understood that this author, Osamu Dazai, has had a book called No Longer Human, Ningen Shikaku. And I just read this one just recently. And so this is also very popular in Japan. And this is not, the guy, the protagonist in this fiction, that the guy tried to commit suicide, but that didn't succeed. So it's nothing to do with the suicide. But Osamu Dazai, the novelist, the author himself, I think what I understand, commit suicide, whatever. Okay, so this is a kind of a famous story, and this particular book, I was hoping that I could get something like a more life-affirming story, but it's not. It's about the guy, this protagonist, going down, 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 and there's no end to going down. And it's about that. It's no longer human. That means he doesn't deserve to be human being, and it's like a lowest level of the creatures or whatever, and so it's about that. And so, but his writing, Dazai's writing is like a little bit kind of a standoffish, little bit away from that, kind of observing this particular individuals and so forth. So, but it's about this suicide thing. So going back to this, there's a lot of positivity there. He meets a lot of people along the line. I think most of the people has like a tremendously like a the good optimistic idea of life and trying to live in that particular fine optimistic life prognosis in future. Okay, so it is something that I felt like this is not depressing. It's not like you see this thing and the story goes about suicides and everything, but it's not really depressing. It's like I would say that you observe somebody's death and you learn something from that, and you yourself feel like you have to live life for these people who passed away. For them, I have to live my life better, or something like that. I think it's very positive, and the message is very positive in there, and so I like this one. And but that's set aside. Topics they set aside. This is also fun to read. It's like a Kafka on the shore. It's fun to read. The side story, tremendously fun. And one of the fun things about this is this Toru. I think meet this little bit older woman, and at the sanatorium or someplace, and that this older woman, probably about Toru is maybe about 20-ish, 21, 22 maybe, but this woman is about 30-ish, or something like that. Not that old, but it's kind of attractive, beautiful woman, right? Okay, so she is. She's at the sanatorium and talking about her experience, when she lived with someone, okay, and this particular incident happened when she was like sleeping or something, and of course it's like a sexual thing, right? Okay, all right. So not much spoilers, but it's so much fun to read that, and I think. For that, I think I really love this particular book, and whole through this particular story, very interesting. There's a positive. This story has two friends and girlfriends, I would say, and one is going, like a little bit mentally, affected, but the other one is very positive. And other one is very life affirming and so forth. And she is very strong minded person compared to the other kind of little bit mentally ill person. And so it's like a two juxtaposition. I think kind of interesting. I think Toru. Goes right in the middle, and see both go and observe, and he loved both of them, and his life goes on from there, goes on very strongly to opted for the life, right? Okay, so this is very good, and But this one is, as I said, there's no fantastic element in there. No little people, no, the story of fantastic, things in there, and so it's easy to read. And I think for some people, I think it's easy to get into. Some people don't like this particular fantastic objects or whatever coming up to the story, because they cannot believe what they're reading. I'm not interested in those fantasies or whatever. And but there's no fantasies in here, and the life goes on regardless, and he is strong to live life there. So that's a very, very good book, and I kind of strongly think the people who never read Haruki Murakami, I would recommend this one very much so. And when you get a taste of this, this is fun to read also, okay? And you go to maybe other books, And so for that sake, I think this is one of the popular fictions by Murakami, and this became a movie too. The movie is okay, but you have to read the book, of course. Movie is good, but I think I think the book is the more profound, I would say. All right. So okay, that's my few cents today. So okay, thank you. Bye bye.